Illusion in Philosophy by J Van Der Leeuw, read by Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. Illusion in Philosophy. When we realise some of the illusory features of our world image consciousness, we can see why a realisation of living truth is impossible in that conditioned consciousness, and why every question asked from that state of consciousness must be permeated by the illusion to which it is subject. The multiplicity, which in the absolute is seen as unity, appears as separateness in my externalized world image. I am conscious of myself as centre of a surrounding world, and feel myself as I, with regard to that world, as not I. Such is the predominant characteristic of my world image consciousness, the I, not I illusion. Everything in my daily experience is coloured by that, and subject to that. Whatever I think or feel, whatever I do or experience, whatever I ask or answer, is part of that dual structure. My consciousness of being I, surrounded by a world which is not I. The most dangerous part of this illusion is that I am not aware of it, and am accustomed to ask questions of a philosophical nature without realizing for a moment that they are coloured and vitiated by the illusion which accompanies my consciousness in the world of the relative. In addition to this dualistic illusion which colours all my questioning and thinking in the world of the relative, there are my space and time illusions. That which is an abiding and ever-present reality in the absolute becomes a past, present, future development in my world image. I objectivate this way of experience the eternal as a succession of events and call this objectivation time, considering it as a scroll on which events are written. Then, forgetting that this particular time structure of my world image is but my way of interpreting ever-present reality, I unconsciously weave it into the texture of all my thoughts and questions, and all the problems which my imprisoned intellect can ask are impregnated by that illusion. Thus, all questions in which the problem of the beginning or the end of time, or of the relation of past and future to the present, are incapable of being answered, since they have an element of illusion in themselves. In a similar way, distance in space and the three dimensions of my space world are my interpretation in my world image of that which, in the absolute, may be thought of as a mathematical point. There is no space in the world of the real, though there is that which I interpret in dimensions of space and time. The space illusion of my world image also colours my thinking and feeling, without my realising that it does so. I never doubt that I am here, and that someone else is there, at a distance of 10 yards from me. Yet this is only the appearance in my world image of that which in the absolute is not spatially distant. And consequently, when I ask a philosophical question in which the illusion of an objective space is implied, I shall naturally find these questions impossible to answer, since they are wrong in themselves. As long as we, in philosophy, ask questions concerning reality while we are bound in the illusion of our relative standpoint, and then try to deal with these faulty questions by means of the intellect, which is the mind functioning in the realm of relativity, it is quite impossible to come to a realization of living truth. At the very best, we can hope to get an answer to our wrong question, which answer, since the question was wrong, must necessarily be wrong also, and therefore without value. The agnostic is at least safer in declaring that these questions cannot be answered, that man cannot know ultimate things. This may not be true, but at least it safeguards us from those pseudo-answers which do but act as mental soporifics. When the agnostic says, "we cannot know," he is right if he adds the words, "by the aid of our intellect," since the intellect is the instrument for observation in the world of relativity, and fails us when we desire to attain reality. Then the intuition alone can serve as a way to knowledge, the intuition being the experience of reality in our being. But both intellect and intuition are necessarily incapable of answering questions which are wrong in themselves. To answer such, is but to prove our ignorance. We can escape from the circular vitiosus of wrong question and wrong answer only by recognizing that the questions are asked from the standpoint of illusion, and that the intellect is bound by this same illusion. It is only when we surrender both and leave all trappings of the world of relativity behind that we can enter the world of the real and there experience reality, which does not answer the wrong questions, but rather sweeps them aside and gives us a realization of living truth instead, in the light of which the very questions become absurd. The soul answers never by words, but by the thing itself that is inquired after, says Emerson. We do not gain an answer in so many words, but experience a living reality which shows the absurdity of the wrong question and makes a further answer superfluous.